All right, Tuesday evening, 8 p.m. So it's time for the Good News Game Plan with Joe Kelly.
Hello, Tim. How are you doing today?
I am wonderful. Good day out there.
It's a great day. The weather's breaking. We have the boat ready to go out and use that.
Nice.
And also, one bit of good news I'm certainly starting with here is I understand the bass are out there. We got some fish running. It's the early spring bass. Time to catch some big bass, some stripers that are waiting to jump onto your boat and put them on your grill. So we're excited about that. That's going to be tons of fun. Just the nice weather's good. I don't know if you noticed him, but I'm a little red from sunburn because I'm sitting outside watching kids sports, the high school lacrosse games, girls lacrosse. I'm at the rugby games. I'm outside and I am just having the time of my life. Boy, did I miss that, looking at all the kids sports and all. I also went to a men's rugby game, White Plains versus New York Athletic Club in New Rochelle. That was a fantastic game. Hey, Tim, they really changed that city park around, didn't they?
Yeah, they've been doing a lot there.
It didn't look like the old city park when we played rugby at Iona College. It looks like a totally different field. I was confused.
Yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful. I was down in New Rochelle yesterday. I actually stopped by. I was on VOX yesterday morning. So
nice.
Yeah, so I drove right by there. It's beautiful. Now. They're really fixing that place up.
Perfect. So what other good news, Greenwich good news you have for us today, Tim? What's going on?
Like you said, I've got my girls playing softball and track, so that's exciting stuff. And then, of course, the great weather, spending a lot of time down at Byron Beach, so can't be beat. And actually, I saw one of our guests crossing the street the other day, going down to the beach herself with her sister and friends running around. So it was very exciting.
Oh, you saw our secret guest.
Yes.
You saw Heather Smeriglio.
Very nice.
Yes. I always mess up that name. And we have Bob Capazzo as well. Cappazo. My wife said it was Cappazo. I said it's spelled Cappazo, but Bob is having technical difficulties. So Tim, at one point, you may be going to go bring some good news to Bob and try to help him get on the show. But yes. right now, it's time to bring Heather Smeriglio onto the program.
Great pronunciation, Joe. I'm proud of you.
We practiced like 6 times before the show.
Oh, my goodness. Thanks for having me on, guys. This is fun.
Oh, please. It's great. Yes. We love having happy, good people on the show. So, Tim, you saw Heather?
As I mentioned, yeah, we walked down to the beach. The Byron Beach is just a couple blocks away, and her mom and everything is sister is right around the corner from us. So we see them from time to time walking around. And, of course, at the boat club, they're down at the marina also. So I run into them from time to time, the family.
Now, you were driving. She was walking. Did you feel?
No, everybody walking.
Everyone walking. We were walking, getting our power walks in, exercising. Yeah. Byron Shore is so beautiful. It's just fantastic going down there. Oh, it's everything.
Well, it's so good down there. I didn't really have a lot of chances to go because I either go to Todd's Point or we have the Mead Point Beach here or go down in a boat. So I rarely went to Byron Shore other than for softball games and events. Maybe we were over there, but I never really got to spend time at the beach there. And there's a beautiful pool there. And when campaigning for a state representative, I found myself over there quite often and really enjoying getting around there. It was fantastic.
Beautiful, right?
So much potential over there too. There's land we don't even use that's right on the water. That's fantastic. Yeah. So it's just endless possibilities over there. Another wonderful feature of Greenwich that is just a gem. And I was so glad I got to go spend some time over there last cycle in the election, just going around seeing some of the folks down that way. So that was good. Now, Heather,
last year I'll mention that we did have the COVID going on last summer, but they did have the pool open. And people were in there. And this year, I'm trying to get my daughter in there. She got her lifeguard certificate. So hopefully she'll be the guard. And
that would be great.
I spent many laps in that pool last summer. So hopefully we'll get back in there. It's going to be great stuff. That pool is beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Tons of good news ahead. So summer's coming. Good news ahead. All good. And
yes.
Well, Heather, you and I got to meet each other, and I really did enjoy that. The election 2 years ago,
it was so fun.
You were running for the tax collector, and I was running for Board of Education. And but it's one big group. You have the BET, you have the first selectman, you have the selectmen, you have everybody just coming together as a team, and it just makes it so much fun. So I didn't have the opportunity to do that before, up until 2 years ago, and just the fun we all had getting together and helping each other out. And Heather, I got a kick out of something. You're a very good public speaker, yet you don't think you are. And right before, right before,
I get so nervous, Joe. Oh my God.
But you are so genuine that when you get up there and you make your speeches, you really do connect with people, which is a real skill that you have that I don't think you know you have. It's really good. And I know right beforehand, those couple of times when you were saying that you were nervous and concerned that you might not do very well, I knew 100% you were going to do very well because of the way you deliver a speech. So I'm very, very impressed by that. And you should be, well, you know what? I find that getting nervous before a speech sometimes makes you perform better on the with the speech.
Thank you, Joe.
Oh, my pleasure. And I did enjoy that, and going around and seeing people and meeting people and saying, hey, vote for me for the Board of Education, and vote for you for the tax collector. When we went to the polling stations, that was tons of fun as well, going from one to the other, because you had the RTM was also being elected at the time. So right. The RTM members were staying at their various polling stations, and people like you and I in the offices we're running for got voted by the entire town. So we had to go from station to station to station. That was a blast too. I'm sure you had fun doing that.
That was my favorite day, going from, each election place. That was super enjoyable, meeting so many people. It was so much fun. And I think election night was fun, Joe. But after I found out that I won, I think I was in shock. I just walked around that night and I felt like, is this really happening? It was really fun, but very surreal.
Well, no, it was great. You're walking on a cloud. Everybody was.
Yeah.
I do say, well, I guess we only had, for my election, there was only 2 people running for 2 spots. So it would have been very, very, very hard for me not to win. Although
right.
I did think it could have been a possibility, though. But a good thing, my wife said she'd vote for me, and that's all I needed was the 1 vote. So that was good.
Yay.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yes. So we're happy about that. But then, that was good. And then you got the opportunity. Now, you and I met prior to that. We had a nice, just random stranger to stranger conversation. You remember that one, right? Yeah, we met.
That's when I was in parking services.
That's right. You were in parking services, and I was Coach Kelly coming in there. I remember the instance because it was kind of expensive at my end. I had been parking at the high school as a coach, and I kept getting a ticket, and I'd give that to the department. And I'd say, well, I had a game today, or I was coaching or something. And they said, oh, don't worry, we'll take care of that.
Oh, yeah. We'll take care of that.
That's right. So I said, oh, great. So I got another ticket, gave it to the beginning. Okay, we'll take care of that. So about $550 later, I showed up.
Sounds so bad.
It's not your fault. It wasn't your fault. But still, so it was worth every penny to the opportunity to get to meet you and stand there and talk to you about. I mean, we talked about the ticket thing for about 5 minutes. Then we spent about 45 minutes talking about everything else.
I know, right? And I found out you were a lacrosse coach, and I wanted my son to do lacrosse.
Rugby.
Oh, rugby. I'm sorry.
That's right. So we talked to him about rugby, and that was great. And it's always good. And I knew at that moment that since I totally forgot about the $550 that I was out, and you made it very, very easy for me to understand that there was no way around it, and there was no issue there. You delivered that in such a nice way that it just went out of my mind, and we went off to talk about some social things. So once again,
I'm glad.
Oh, it's great. It's a gift you have, and it must be something you apply in your tax collecting skills as you go from door to door with a bucket, knocking on the door, asking people for their tax money. Do you have any really interesting stories about collecting taxes door to door?
Well, actually, no, not collecting taxes, but there was a time when I was first in the tax office doing refunds. And refunds you can only do within a 3-year period. Once it goes past the 3 years, it's kind of lost money. So I used to really be like a detective, especially with the older refunds, trying to find people to tell them, hey, you have this money, we got to get it to you. And whenever I was able to do that, I felt so great. Like that was like a really good part of tax collection. When people overpaid and they didn't even know that they overpaid and you were able to send them back this money, they were thrilled.
Well, that would be the greatest part. Well, I could see somebody like yourself just enjoying that as if it's some sort of, in a way, you're giving to a charitable organization.
Right.
You're just giving it away. Here's money, free money. Look at the authority I have as the tax collector of the town of Greenwich. I get to give out money. So how cool is that?
Not all the time, but sometimes.
Oh, not all the time? I thought you could give everyone money back. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Oh my gosh.
But now I understand too, you've had some great success in your collecting of taxes. I believe your percentage, I was reading something in the newspaper the other day about some crazy high percentage. Can you,
yeah.
Can you talk a little about that?
Historically in the town of Greenwich, we're anywhere from 98 to 99.9% collection rate. People do pay their taxes in this town. So it's very good. And I was a little concerned this past year with the COVID that, maybe we wouldn't get there, but people really came through. We're still collecting. I sent out delinquent notices. That money's still coming in, but we're at 392 million. So it's about 99%, the ratio. So we're doing really well. And that's good for the town because the town needs that money to, run the town and run it well.
Absolutely. And because we're friends, I'm so glad you excused all my real estate taxes. Thank you very much.
You like how I did that? Oh my God.
That was good. Oh, wait, you told me not to tell anybody, right? Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Remember? Mom's word. Oh my God.
That's right. I have to keep that a big secret. So Heather, tell me about yourself. That's the fun thing about this show, because you and I met. We had a nice experience together on the campaign trail and working with the town issues and things like that. But you know what? We didn't get into those conversations about you, more about you. I know you're very family oriented, and I know you're very active there. Tell us a little rundown about yourself.
Okay. Well, I was born and raised in Byram. So I grew up there in Byram, and I went to Catholic school my whole life. And when I left Byram, I moved to Chickahominy for about 9 years. I really branched out.
Big move.
And then from there, I landed in Coscob, and that's where I've been ever since. And that's where I met my husband. Mm-hmm. And we had our 4 kids, and it's going to be 14 grandkids in June. We have
14 grandkids.
14 grandkids. Oh, so, besides working full time, I love to spend time with my grandkids. Unfortunately, they're pretty much far away. There's some in South Carolina, some in North Carolina, and 2 in Texas. So it's, not always easy to see them, but we do the Zoom stuff and the FaceTime and all that. So, yeah, so I'm all about my family. My mom is 87, and I see her quite often. She lives in Byram with my sister, and I have another sister in Shelton, and my brother's retired to Florida. So got a big family and lots of kids, and it's great. Life is great.
You must be very active at the house when the kids are over visiting. Like,
oh my gosh, it's insane.
We have Mother's Day coming up next. Hopefully, we'll get some visits next week. Certainly, Zoom visits, if not in-person visits. So that's going to be an exciting day.
We saw them in, what month are we in now, Joe? May? We saw them in February. We went down to Florida, took a trip, and we stopped at each North Carolina, South Carolina, and Florida, and just, spent some time. And we had a blast.
Well, I'm going to put you on the spot, and this is going to be very impressive to all that are watching. Only you can do this. Only you can answer the question. I'd like you to name all 14 of your grandchildren.
Okay. Gisela, Nolan, Abriella, Taya, Brinlea, Ryla, Cora, Mina, Kaya, Elizabeth, Christopher, Nate, and Isabel.
Nice.
Nice.
I don't know if it was correct.
I had to stop and think.
I certainly know you got 14. I did count that number. So
okay, good.
You did get that one right. So I don't know if you got the names right, but I certainly know that you got 14 of them.
Listen, I have a list on the side of the refrigerator with the birth dates because I can't keep it straight.
Did any of them owe taxes? No, I'm just kidding.
No, not yet. The oldest one is 19.
So tell me more about activities that you do outside of family stuff, activities that you participate in town, other than just the political stuff, the clam bakes, the campaigning, all that sort of stuff. What else do you do in town that you're involved in, you're passionate about?
Well, the Greenwich Rotary, I just ended up rejoining because I was very active with them when I was in my banking career. Mm-hmm. But since I've moved over into tax collection, not as active, but I'm hoping to plan to get more active with that. And let's see, what else can I tell you? Well, I really enjoy walking. That's like my passion, walking and reading and spending time with family.
Well, really. That's great. That's what's really, that's the important things. Yeah. And now we're going to touch on something now that you're just started up, because I went over to the St. Lawrence Club and was able to see your kickoff party the other day.
Wasn't it fun? We had a great time.
I apologize, I got there a little late for your powerful.
You got there. It's fine.
I met your sister, and so she talked about how we're going to try to have some sort of event here at the Kelly House for you, campaign, which will be fun. And now it was a kickoff for you to run again for another 2 terms as tax collector. Tell us about why you're doing it again, and what you feel how you feel you could help our community.
Well, I want to do it again because I really enjoy what I'm doing. I have a great team, that I'm working with. We get along great. Everybody works hard to make sure things are done the right way. And I've really found that I have this niche because I really, like to help people. And I feel that, especially in tax collection, sometimes people will come in and they're late or whatever, and they're upset. And I'm able to sit and talk with them and calm them down. And that's a good feeling, because I want them to leave at least feeling better. So I've been able to do that. And I feel like I really have a connection with people. And like I said in my speech, I don't know if you heard it, but I had read in this leadership book to ask myself this question each day: who can I help today? So I thought that was really great. So I wrote it out on a piece of paper, put it up on my bulletin board right next to my, right there in my office. And every morning I look at that and I'm like, who can I help today? And I try to just keep that right here in the front of my mind, because that's what it's really all about, helping people,
Absolutely. I mean, there's nothing that first part of my career, after school and stuff, first part of my career, I worked on Wall Street, and that was not really a helping business. That was a taking business. Mm-hmm. Many years just kind of go out there, and I guess I worked with people well, and that's why I got promoted to managerial positions, because I was able to coordinate things well, but it was more of a taking role. I was able to leave that some 23 years ago, when I moved to Greenwich, and I took on that role that you just described, which really makes me happy, because with the coaching and the Board of Education and every other activity, I've always had an internship for young kids from Greenwich High School at our home. We've taken in kids that needed a place to stay. We've done lots of that stuff, and with that attitude that you just described, wanting to go into the community and help people. How do you go wrong, and how does a community suffer from that? They don't. Right. And that's what's great about Greenwich. We find on this the program, show, whatever we call it, we've been able to gather people who do what you just described, go out there and help people on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. We talk about good news because so often people get caught up in the bad news, and you can really live in a world. My world is all about good and all about having, just like
positive, right?
Absolutely. And I think that's why you and I got along right from the start, because you didn't give me any problems, anything that's bad that's going on. All you did was a big smile and good stuff. So and that's perfect. And
Joe, you have the best job because you get to pour into young people's lives. That tops it all. I'm telling you. That's amazing.
The coaching side was really exciting. It was we're really working kind of hand in hand with a smaller group and really connecting. But I find it a lot more, well, it's equally exciting, but in a different way, working with the 9,000 kids that now we are involved with helping. And the amount of effort and energy we put into that is something that it's rewarding. It's controversial, which is okay because I've got a very thick skin. And
I know you're great at that.
It's hard to bother.
It's your gift.
You can say what you want. It really doesn't bother me that much. But if you need me to make believe it bothers me, I'll do that too. But basically, we're able to go into situations where maybe 51% of the people want something and 49% of the people want something else. So I'm not going to please everybody. So I just have to deal with that. And going forward with that, it's exciting. And I'm really happy that I get to do this. I'm happy that you are doing this again. My shift is a 4-year shift, so I don't have to run again for a while.
Oh, you're so lucky. Oh.
Oh, come on, Heather. Don't you got to enjoy. Now, the first one maybe gave you a little bit of
I know. This one I feel like I'm really enjoying. Already I feel a difference,
Absolutely.
because you've gone through it once already and you know what to expect and you just roll with it,
Absolutely.
Great.
No, and you're good at it. And as far as when people get a chance to chat with you about stuff, and now that you get to introduce this, I know that it's the BET will be a very competitive race this time around, and you're friendly with all the members of the BET, so they're going to need a little help to make sure they get their message across. And you're certainly very relatable to everybody, and certainly not that the BET is not, but not everyone has the relatability gifts that you show when you're interacting with people. So you'll be an asset to them, getting them elected. There'll be a couple of new Board of Ed members running. I don't know whether we're going to run more than there are spots open for, but we'll see how that goes. But the season will be fun. I'm happy to be.
It will be.
Yes, because I had the last shift as the state representative. That was challenging considering it was in the middle of COVID. So it was really hard to go.
Yeah.
We had basically no events, and it was really weird knocking on everybody's door and talking to them with the mask on.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether they wanted to throw rocks at me or talk to me. I couldn't figure it out when
Or tomatoes.
Potatoes. Is that an Irish thing you're saying, potatoes?
No, tomatoes.
I thought you make it fun of the Irish guy. Thanks a lot.
I'm the Irish gal.
Exactly. Oh, that's right. Maloney, of course. Of course. Well, it was great talking to you, Heather. I really enjoyed it.
Joe.
Bob Capazzo, I guess we were not able to get his.
Oh, darn. Is he in there?
Yeah. Nope.
You can't get him in.
Nope. He asked to reschedule. He wants to come back another time when he can get in.
I got to talk to him because I was thinking this is great. I'm going to ask him about getting a headshot because I never had like a professional headshot for campaigning,
Oh, he's the guy, and hopefully.
Yeah, I've seen his work. He's fantastic.
Yes, no, he's great. That way he shot. I think the campaign, the first one we were in, I know that a few of the shots that he took at the clam bake was some of the ones we used in a lot of the things we put out there. So
yeah.
He's really good, and he's always in the right spot. And you know what? There's a lot of photographers out there that kind of just stand there and I'm not really that comfortable. I don't dislike having my picture taken, but I don't go out of my way. And some photographers make you feel comfortable, and Bob's one of those guys.
He is. He's really good, right? He doesn't make you feel like, ah.
No, and if you're standing in the wrong place, he says it the right way. He doesn't say, hey, whoa. He says, oh, Joe, you look much more.
Got in.
He's got a gift that way. Hey, Tim, do you have any tax collector questions? Because I know you must, because I know everyone does. So it must be.
The tax collector's obviously town-wide position, right? That's it's not by the sections. So
sometimes Heather does stray outside the community when she's collecting taxes.
They're going to New York.
Yeah, try and grab some from other towns.
She doesn't have to hand those in. She can keep those for herself.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's extracurricular activity.
She walks across the border into Stanford and she's still knocking on doors. Oops, sorry, but I got the money.
With my bucket.
Exactly. No, you grew up in Byram and then you're Chickahominy and Coscob. Is there something that you've noticed since you've been here your whole life that you're very excited about the change or some kind of development in town since you were a little kid that you're very happy about or proud about being a Greenwich native?
Well, I have to say the Byram Shore was like beautiful, like what they did with it. I was a little nervous because, to be honest, I'm like a creature of habit and I don't like a lot of change.
Yeah.
So I was concerned, what are they going to do to it? But I have to say, especially that pool, because I feel that pool is like for everyone. Like my mom can actually go in that pool and she has a difficulty, walking, and she's 87 and she can walk in because they have that graded, where you can walk in. And I just think that they really did a beautiful job with that.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's like top notch.
I would have to agree. So you're going to say that Byram is the best section of Greenwich?
Uh-oh. She lives in Costco.
I'm a Byram girl at heart and always will be.
I know. And Mima lives right around the corner.
That's right. I always will be a Byram girl.
You're going to get her in trouble. She's got to get voted for by the entire community, not just
the
community.
Not just District 4.
Well, she's one of the special ones that, grew up here in Byram and then has branched out and, has moved on through Chickahominy and over to Costco. So, we have to claim her back as Byram, but we know that she's in Costco now. So
is that like moving on up? Is that like George Jefferson and moving on up? Is that what we're saying?
Yes. Oh my God.
We're just sharing the wealth that we have here in Byram. That's what we're doing.
Oh my gosh, you guys are crazy.
Moving on up. Now, Heather, one last question I have for you. After you've collected every last bit of tax that you could possibly collect, when you've done that, gotten all the money you could possibly get out of all the Greenwich residents, what's next for you?
As far as what? That's the goal, is to get the money.
So when you've gotten the money, you won't know what to do with yourself, basically.
Oh my goodness. You're always doing something because, July collection starts, and then, so you're really busy with July. Then there's a lull. Then you start trying to find people that the bills have come back. It's crazy. And then you're working on liens, and it's, always something. It's never like boring in the tax office. That's for sure. Oh my God.
Can I visit one day?
Absolutely. You can come in tomorrow if you want.
Myself and Tim, can we come in and just kind of hang out in the tax office? Because you make it sound
office.
It sounds very appealing.
Have a Keurig coffee maker. We'll have coffee.
Nice.
All right.
So we'll sit in the tax office. We'll have coffee. We'll talk about taxes, and we'll just sort of whoop it up. I'm really looking forward to that. That could be great.
Awesome.
I heard, Joe, that they search you when you go in there to make sure you don't bring an eraser in. So if you find your card, you just erase a couple zeros or something like that. But everything else is okay. But no erasers allowed in the tax office.
None whatsoever.
No erasers. Well, good. We'll have to remember that one. Leave those erasers at home. Well, Heather, it was wonderful speaking to you.
It was such a pleasure.
I'm so glad you agreed to come on our little program here, because we have about 16,000 people look at the program last week. We didn't have one last week.
Last week we took off, but then that doubles up on the viewers this week.
Of course.
They've been waiting.
32,000 potential
voters.
That's
great.
Now, we certainly made that number up, but it's in the hundreds. But you might actually have somebody sitting out there that we accidentally forwarded the link to that actually might not have voted for you anyway. So here's your last bit. 1 minute left. I want you to appeal to somebody who just happened to click onto this by accident. I want you to appeal to them why they should vote for you.
Why they should vote for me, because I am the tax collector. I'm truly compassionate. I'm a listener. I'm easy to relate to. If you're late on your taxes, I always tell people, don't ignore them. We can chat about it. You can tell me what's going on. I'm understanding. We can do payment plans. We can't technically, the taxpayer can just send in whatever they can per month. And I want people to feel that, they don't have to be afraid. They can call me. They can talk with me. We can figure out a plan. And that's what it's all about. Like we said, Joe, it's really wanting to help people. And that's what I feel is unique about me. And also the fact that I did go to the municipal tax collector school, and I was certified by the state. I went for 3 years, so I do have the knowledge and I do have the certification. So that's it.
Fantastic. That's great. Wow. Well, I think you've won over everyone who could possibly be watching. We'll make sure we forward it on to a bunch of people so they can see this. But great. Heather, thank you very much. Have a great day tomorrow. I can't actually make it tomorrow to the tax office. We're doing a little morning preview of the construction site at Cardinal Stadium with the members of the GAF. So we're bringing them around to take a little peek at the site. And it's going to be rainy.
Whoa, look at it. It's awesome.
That's not what it looks like yet, but that's what we aspire.
Oh my God, it's so exciting.
We're going to get working hard. So thanks, Heather. Thanks, Tim. We'll see you guys. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Tim. Take care.